Today I'm making my very own birthday cake. I'm making a Lamington cake, or what I call the No Mrs. Jones cake. Hi, I'm Mara Marie Christiani, the Aerialist Chef. Let's get started. The first thing we want to do is sift our cake flour. I love these wire mesh strainers, as you know. And then I'm going to go ahead and sift my baking powder, baking soda, and kosher salt. I will say this over and over and you'll get sick of hearing me, but sifting is very important, particularly with cake, because it aerates the batter and it helps the finished cake to have some nice, fresh, moist crumbs instead of being dense. All right, that's it. And I'm just going to stir it together. All right, now we're ready to start creaming our butter. I place the sugar in the mixer bowl and I'll put it on low. I'm going to add oil and room temperature butter. Now, Lamington cake is from Australia. It's a very popular cake there. And the two most popular are a sponge cake or butter cake covered in chocolate and then coconut, or raspberry jam and then coconut. Today, my version is a little bit of a take on both of them together. I'm making a coconut cake, and then I'm going to add the chocolate and raspberry. Okay, our butter's creamed with the sugar. You can see it's lightened up. I'm going to lower back down to stir, and I'm going to add our egg yolks one at a time. Well, 3 of them flipped in there. What are we going to do? Don't tell anybody. Okay, and then I'll add my vanilla bean paste and coconut extract. If you don't have coconut extract, don't worry about it, but you do need the vanilla bean paste. Now we're ready for the dry ingredients that we've already pre-sifted. We're going to add a little bit of that and a little bit of buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you can use, for every cup of buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. Let it set for 10 minutes and then just proceed with your recipe. I'm using whole fat buttermilk because that's what I like best. I mean, we're putting butter and oil, we might as well go all the way, right? But you can use low fat, it's okay. If you can't find buttermilk or you don't have it and you want to make it, you can substitute Greek yogurt or sour cream. All right, I'm going to stop. There's still a little bit of flour. I always finish mixing my cakes by hand. And then what we're going to do is we're going to whip the egg whites with the cream of tartar to soft or medium soft peaks. I don't want them real stiff, but I don't want them too soft. I want them to be like floofy little clouds. All right, let me take that off and I'll start whipping the egg whites and I'll show you how I finish it. Our egg whites are in the bowl and I put the cream of tartar in there. Cream of tartar is an acid. It comes actually from wine barrels. If you don't have it, you can go ahead and whip the egg whites by themselves. It's just a stabilizer. You always want to start your egg whites on low. And then as soon as it's going just a few seconds, go up to number 2 or the next notch on your mixer. And I'm just looking for a little bit of bubbly, foamy look before I start cranking it slowly. You don't want to go straight to the highest setting. As soon as those egg whites start turning a little bit more opaque, then you can crank her up. All right, our egg whites are at a medium peak. You can see how they are. See, if I put them over my head, they won't fall on my head. That's it. But I don't want them real stiff. All right, so we have the egg batter, and there's still a little bit of flour in it. And I'm just gonna put 1 spoonful of egg white. So I'm gonna fold in that first little scoop of egg white, and that's gonna loosen the batter up. I can be a little bit more vigorous with that first scoop because I'm not worried about keeping the air in it. I'm just trying to get the two mixtures more closely related. Now I'll put the rest of it, and then I'm gonna fold this in carefully. All right, and you've seen me do this before. I use one hand to turn the bowl and the other hand to fold. Sometimes I go through the center, sometimes I go around the sides. When I'm almost there, but I still see a little bit of the egg white, I'll go ahead and add my coconut. So I have kind of like an inside-out Lamington. I'm putting the coconut on the inside and a little bit on the outside. I have quite a few friends in Australia, so I hope they approve of my version. All right, that's good to go. And I'll show you how I put it in the pan. All right, we're gonna put it in the pan. I have a non-stick Bundt pan, 12 cups or more. And I do spray it anyway, because from experience, I realize that non-stick is not always non-stick. So do yourself a favor and go ahead and give it a little bit of baking spray. Now I'm only gonna fill this halfway because I'm gonna put some, actually cherry jam I'm using. You use raspberries, nice too. But I'm using cherry today. And I've loosened the cherry jam with just a little bit of warm water. If I would have had amaretto, I would have used that because I would have preferred it. All right, then I'm gonna go ahead and spread my cherry jam in there. Nice pieces of cherry in there. I just love the way that looks. That should do it. And I'm just gonna take a knife and just swirl it just a little bit. It's like making little S's. All right, then I'll put the rest of the batter on top and pop it in the oven. And I'm not even worried if some jam is sticking up off the top. That's okay. We're gonna put a chocolate glaze. It's gonna be wonderful. And then a little bit more coconut. And like any cake, you want to make sure you push the batter all the way to the outer edge, and if it's a Bundt pan, all the way around the cone part. And what that does is it makes your cake that it will rise evenly when you bake it. If you don't do this step, that's sometimes where you get those little peaks and valleys and cracks. All right, into the oven for a good 40-45 minutes, maybe even 50 depending on your oven. Our cake is out of the oven and I've let it cool about 15-20 minutes. It's still a little warm, but it's not hot. And I'll show you how I flip it. Now I'll take an offset spatula or a butter knife, but be careful because you don't want to scratch your nonstick pan. And I just run it around the edge and a little bit around the tube part, okay? Then you take your plate, or I'm using a cake platter, and I grasp both sides and I just give it a little flip. Put it down, pray. Yay! Ooh, look at that. You can see some of the jam. I cannot wait to eat this. I'll show you how I like to serve it. There's my Lamington birthday cake. It looks delicious. I can't wait. And it's great with a cup of cappuccino. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, dear Mara. Happy birthday to you.
That was great. Did you get that? All right, you have to do see you next time. I'll see you next time.